I call the member for Cook.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Did you know there were 555 domestic violence incidents reported to the Sutherland Shire Police last year, and over 37,000 reported across all of New South Wales? Also, homelessness estimates estimate that there's over 1,500 people homeless right now in Cook. On Friday, the 25th of October, Big Sister Foundation brought together 7 amazing organisations who tackle both these issues: Family Co, Project Youth, Kingsway Community Care, Dandelion Support Network, Hopefield, Cogra Storehouse and Georges River Life Care. Big Sister Foundation, chaired by Kim Brown, is one of the largest non-government funders of women's programs in my local area, donating over $6.5 million over the last 12 years. Firstly, I'd like to recognise Family Co. Family Co are based in Jannali and were founded on the belief that all children and families deserve a safe home, strong connections and opportunities to thrive. Family Co do work with short and long-term clients, including women, family, young people, children who've experienced trauma, disadvantage or violence. Family Co's services include domestic violence court advocacy, emotional preparedness and anger management courses, youth mentorship and support, including casework, music-based programs and school outreach programs. They do Aboriginal support programs, including playgroup and home group. And I was particularly impressed by their Building Resilience in Children project, which focuses on early intervention for children who've experienced trauma through group therapy, workshops and outreach to educators. Their impact is massive. 6,500 people were supported through their targeted early intervention programs alone. They made 4,500 referrals to the local police command and received almost 15,000 referrals from police. They engaged almost 2,000 young people in support services, and I'd like to personally recognise the CEO of Family Co, Ashleigh Daines, and the operation manager, Michelle Fairweather, their staff and their volunteers. Thank you for the work you do in my community. Secondly, I'd like to call out Project Youth, a great organisation based in Miranda. They support young people aged 12 to 24 in Sutherland Shire, Georges River and Bayside. They support young people who need additional support to fulfil their potential, and many who are facing homelessness, mental health, drug and alcohol dependency, family dysfunction, lack of education, unemployment, involvement in the criminal justice system, abuse, neglect and poverty. They focus on prevention of youth homelessness through early intervention, through things such as family intervention, legal help, mental health and education, focusing on kids who can't attend school. Over 553 referrals this year they had to turn away because of lack of capacity. 553, that's bigger than some schools in my electorate. Over 40 young people have stayed in crisis accommodation 9 months longer than the policy allows them, as there's simply nowhere for them to go. To the CEO, Jody Darge, and all those who've fundraised, partnered and volunteered with that organisation, thank you. Next, Kingsway Community Care, based in Caringbah. They are southern eastern Sydney's largest adult temporary and crisis provider. Kingsway Care has housed and supported over 1,500 people since 2014. They operate programs such as Platform 9, a safe and supportive space providing trauma-informed care and housing solution for vulnerable people in my community. Jackpad is a temporary crisis accommodation for young women aged 18 to 25. And Sea Change Op Shop, a thrift shop serving about 250 customers weekly, managed entirely by volunteers and also providing a food pantry for people in crisis. They support people with housing. They have emergency 8 rooms for women, men and young women. They have crisis accommodation for up to 3 months with 8 rooms for single women, 3 rooms for single men and additional rooms for women and young children. And transitional housing for up to 18 months, shared homes and tiny homes for single individuals and families. According to Stephanie Allen, who manages Platform 9's housing, homeless services are now more than ever needed in our community with the skyrocketing cost of living, disproportionately affecting families most vulnerable in my community. It takes a village, as they say, and we are proud to be part of that village, she says. To Brooke Stewart, the General Manager and staff, thank you for the work you do. To Dandelion support network based in Tarrant Point, they've made an incredible impact. In 2023 alone, more than 2,500 families were helped, almost 5,000 children, and Dandelion are on track to help the same, if not more, this year. They've supported over 125 families, and the organisation goes from strength to strength. They provide new and second-hand prams, cots, baby clothes, car seats, donated by local families in the Sutherland Shire and St George's area. I'd also like to recognise Hopefield. Hopefield are a great organisation who support vulnerable people. They operate out of Kirrawee and Cronulla and do important work with individuals, families and communities in my electorate. They offer health services such as psychology, counselling and speech pathology. In 2023 alone, Hopefield completed over 2,000 sessions with 250 new clients utilising a pay-as-you-go structure. Most of those services and appointments were subsidised by them. Hopefield also offers support services such as case management for complex housing needs, domestic violence support, meals for vulnerable community members. Hopefield supports over 60 individuals with case management services who face the risk of homelessness, mental health issues and domestic violence. In 2023, 600 food hampers were distributed by Hopefield and over 1,000 hot meals served in my community. Further, they have community hubs, which focus on social connectivity and education groups for those who experience isolation, challenges with parenting and life skills. Their women's social connection groups meet on Tuesday in Cronulla and Friday in Kirrawee. For men, they hold a group meeting on Thursdays in Cronulla. I'd like to acknowledge the work they do. They've told me about visiting the National Park and the many people from my community who are sleeping rough, camping in the National Park because they can't afford to pay rent or own a house. And these often aren't just single people, sometimes they can be couples, or they've even found families. Thank you for the work you do in my community. Lastly, I'd like to note we are holding the Cook Volunteer Awards on the February 21, 2025. These awards are to recognise the strong ethos and volunteering culture we have in Cook, but not only in Cook, right around Australia. To nominate a volunteer for award, please go to my website, www.simonkennedymp.com.au, where there's a nomination form. The deadline for nominations is the 10th of January 2025. The Cook Awards is an annual event that recognises the exceptional service provided by volunteers in Cook. Australia and Cook has a strong tradition of volunteering. Cook has 4 proud surf clubs who punch above their weight in national titles and have literally thousands of people in my community giving up their weekends, their weekdays to keep people safe. There's not a week that goes by without rescues and they save people from drowning on Bait Bay. We're volunteering across sporting clubs with one of the largest football associations in the entire Southern Hemisphere. Also surf riders, we have 10% of the board riders of Australia, community organisations, environmental groups across all ages, including marine rescue, which is headland right on the Hacking River, where volunteers dedicate their time to support people who get in trouble on the boat, in boats or on the water. Volunteering builds communities, and volunteering has built much of our nation. I call on those people in Cook to nominate those people who you think have been exceptional for a Cook Award in 2025. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.